triangle that doesn't exist. There's a small patch of ocean that doesn't appear on any map. Its boundaries are undefined. No one can say for sure where it begins, where it ends, or if it even exists at all. And yet, everyone has heard of it. The Bermuda Triangle. A place wrapped in mystery, surrounded by rumor and flooded with some of the wildest conspiracy theories known to humankind. For decades, it's been called the deadliest, most dangerous, and deceptive location on Earth. But how did a part of the sea that technically doesn't exist become one of the most famous and feared areas on the planet? For generations, stories have circulated about ships vanishing without a trace, planes going off the radar, crews disappearing mid-flight or mid-voyage, navigation instruments failing, strange lights on the horizon, compasses spinning wildly. It's a story that's grown over time, one where the ocean swallows people whole and leaves no evidence behind. And all of this in a region that isn't even recognized as a formal part of the ocean. The so-called Bermuda Triangle, as most agree, lies between the southeastern coast of the U.S., Bermuda, and Puerto Rico. But the truth is, there's no official shape or size, depending on who you ask. To understand where the myth comes from, we need to go back. Way back. The year is 1492. Christopher Columbus is crossing the Atlantic on his way to the New World. In his journal, he writes about something odd. His compass needle suddenly shifts, pointing in the wrong direction. Later, he sees a strange light on the horizon, glowing like a flickering candle in the night. In the 15th century, when magnetic fields were not yet understood, such events felt supernatural. These journal entries would become the first recorded evidence of strange phenomena in what we now call the Bermuda Triangle. Fast forward a century. In the early 1600s, the English ship Sea Venture set sail for the struggling colony of Jamestown. But just off the coast of Bermuda, the ship sails straight into a hurricane and is destroyed. The crew survives, barely, and washes ashore on one of the uninhabited islands. And while the event wasn't especially mysterious, it stuck in the public consciousness. It's believed that this very wreck inspired William Shakespeare's play The Tempest, where Bermuda is referred to as a cursed place. And from that point on, the island had a reputation it couldn't shake. The year is 1881. The Ellen Austin, a cargo ship sailing from Liverpool to New York, reportedly spots an abandoned vessel drifting silently in the Sargasso Sea. No crew on board, cargo untouched, almost as if it were bait left to be discovered. The Ellen Austin sends a team over to salvage the ship, but then a storm hits. The two ships are separated. When the fog lifts, the ghost ship is gone. No trace of the men who had boarded her. The captain finds the ship again, still intact, but again, no one aboard. He sends another team, and just like before, they vanish into the mist. There are no confirmed records of this in shipping registries, and yet, the story remains one of the Triangle's most chilling legends. The USS Cyclops, a massive Navy cargo ship over 500 feet long, is en route from Rio de Janeiro to Baltimore. It's carrying over 300 men and 10,000 tons of manganese used in steel production. After a brief stop in Barbados, the ship sails north and is never seen again. No SOS, no debris, no explanation. President Woodrow Wilson later says, "Only God and the sea know what happened to the great ship." Years later, two of its sister ships vanish without a trace on nearly identical routes. People begin to wonder, is something truly happening in this part of the sea? December 1945. 5 U.S. Navy bombers, Flight 19, take off from a base in Florida for a routine training mission, but things go wrong. The lead pilot reports his compass isn't working. The planes are lost. The final radio transmission?
It looks like we are entering white water. We are completely lost.
All 5 aircraft vanish. A rescue plane is sent after them, and it too disappears. No wreckage is found. The Navy's official report includes a sentence that echoes through time. It was as if they had flown to Mars, and with that, the Bermuda Triangle's legend was no longer just maritime. It had taken to the skies. Until this point, there was no specific term for the region. That changed in 1964, when writer Vincent Gaddis published an article in Argosy magazine. He connected the dots, Florida, Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and dubbed the area the Bermuda Triangle. In 1974, author Charles Berlitz published The Bermuda Triangle, a book that became a worldwide phenomenon. 20 million copies sold, dozens of languages. His theories, everything from alien abductions to the lost city of Atlantis, even portals to other dimensions. The media ate it up. So did Hollywood. Steven Spielberg included a reference in Close Encounters of the Third Kind. The triangle had officially become part of pop culture. But while stories multiplied, so did efforts to explain them. One early theory: compass errors. It turns out the Bermuda Triangle was once crossed by the Agonic Line, a place where magnetic north and true north align. If a navigator didn't account for this, compasses could seem to behave erratically. But today, the Agonic Line has shifted west and no longer crosses the triangle. Another culprit? Weather. This area sits right in the path of hurricanes. Even now, storms form here regularly. Add in rogue waves, freakishly tall, unpredictable walls of water up to 100 feet high, and the Gulf Stream, a fast, turbulent current that can carry wreckage hundreds of miles in just hours. It's a perfect storm of natural forces. No aliens required. In 2016, scientists in Norway discovered massive craters under the sea, believed to have been formed by sudden methane explosions from the seabed. The theory goes like this: large bubbles of methane reduce water density. Ships floating above could lose buoyancy and sink instantly. There's no direct evidence of this in the Bermuda Triangle, but it didn't stop some from making the connection. Still, most scientists agree. While possible, it's highly unlikely that methane explains the triangle's vanishings. Let's talk statistics. From 1982 to 2015, over 150,000 maritime incidents were recorded globally. Only 361 of them occurred in the Bermuda Triangle. That's just 4%. In fact, when compared to other parts of the world, the Triangle isn't even in the top 10 most dangerous ocean regions. In 2021, data from Lloyd's List showed that out of 8,134 ships passing through the area, only 2 reported issues, just 0.02%. That's 90 times lower than the global average. Even Lloyd's of London and the U.S. Coast Guard confirm the percentage of ships lost in the Bermuda Triangle is the same as anywhere else. Looking at aviation, we find the same story, or rather, the lack of one. Most incidents happened near takeoff or landing, particularly around the Bahamas. Almost none occurred mid-flight. The famous Flight 19? Investigations show the lead pilot, Lieutenant Taylor, believed he was flying over the Florida Keys, when in fact, he was over the Bahamas. Instead of turning back toward Florida, he flew deeper into the Atlantic. He'd simply gotten lost. A tragic mistake, but a human one. So, why do we still talk about the Bermuda Triangle? Why does it remain such a powerful part of modern mythology? Because it's a great story. Because the idea that there's a place on Earth that defies explanation, that resists logic, is captivating. It's exciting to imagine that even in an age of satellites and sensors, some part of our world remains unknowable, even if it doesn't. Here's the reality. The Bermuda Triangle is not a mystery. It's not cursed. It's not even dangerous, at least not more than any other busy stretch of ocean. It's subject to storms, strong currents, and human error. Like every other corner of the sea, the idea that something unusual is happening here, it's a myth, a beautifully boring myth. And maybe that's the most interesting part of all.